Could the very act of letting go, of sacrificing a beloved, integral piece of your championship contending core, actually be the most brilliant, most audacious move for your long-term aspirations? For the Boston Celtics, a franchise steeped in history and perpetually chasing Banner 18, this isn't a hypothetical parlor game. It's a gut-wrenching, strategic tightrope walk that has suddenly become a stark reality. This isn't about panic, not about throwing in the towel after a season that fell agonizingly short. No, this is about the cold, hard calculus of the NBA, a league where opportunity is fleeting, where sentiment often clashes with strategy, and where the heart, at times, must yield to the future. The NBA, much like life itself, has an uncanny knack for throwing curveballs when you least expect them. Just last year, the Celtics endured their own devastating playoff setback, a blow that forced a complete reshaping of their offseason strategy. Now, in a twist of fate that feels almost too dramatic for fiction, the cruel hand of injury has struck another team, the Houston Rockets, with a catastrophic blow that has sent shockwaves through the league and remarkably opened a potential, albeit painful, door for Boston. Veteran point guard Fred VanVleet, the Rockets' orchestrator, their defensive anchor, and the steady hand guiding their youthful exuberance, has reportedly torn his ACL. This isn't just a setback, it's a season-ending gut punch for a Houston team brimming with burgeoning talent, eager to shed their rebuilding skin and take the next significant step towards contention. They'll undoubtedly start the season with their current roster, hoping their young stars can collectively rise to the occasion. But the reality is stark, and the need is undeniable. They will almost certainly need to scour the trade market, desperately seeking to replace the multifaceted contributions VanVleet brought to the table. His elite playmaking, his clutch on-ball scoring, his crucial off-ball spacing, his tenacious point-of-attack defense, and perhaps most importantly, his invaluable championship leadership. These are not easily found attributes. Such players are a rare commodity in the NBA, a precious few who can truly impact a game in every facet, elevating their teammates and steadying the ship in turbulent waters. And wouldn't you know it, the Boston Celtics happen to possess one of those precious few, Derrick White. He checks every single box on the Rockets' wish list, perhaps with a slightly less emphasis on pure on-ball scoring, but with an even greater, more versatile defensive impact that borders on the sublime. White is, without exaggeration, one of the handful of best defensive guards in the entire league. This is a remarkable feat, especially considering that guard defense is typically a young man's game, demanding explosive athleticism and relentless, boundless energy. Yet, White defies convention. He's a cerebral player, a master of angles and anticipation, capable of guarding multiple positions with equal effectiveness and disrupting opposing offenses with uncanny precision. His defensive instincts are unparalleled, often turning what seem like routine possessions into turnovers or contested shots. His offensive game, too, has blossomed, making him a potent threat from beyond the arc and a surprisingly effective secondary playmaker capable of running the pick and roll and finding open teammates. He is, in essence, the quintessential glue guy for a championship contender, a player whose contributions often fly under the radar, but are absolutely indispensable to winning. He's the unsung hero, the quiet assassin, the player every coach dreams of having. Yet, here's where the harsh reality sets in, where the cold, hard truth begins to bite. Derrick White is 31 years old. While the Celtics and their passionate fan base might cling to the hope that this current period of roster restructuring is merely a one-year blip, a temporary pause before they reload and return to immediate contention, the cold, hard truth suggests otherwise. It's far more likely that the Celtics will need another year or two to fully reestablish themselves among the league's elite, to truly build a roster capable of competing for a title. By that point, White will be 33 or 34, undeniably aging out his prime. His value, currently at an all-time high thanks to his consistent elite play and relatively team-friendly contract, will inevitably begin to decline. This creates a critical window, a moment where the Celtics must ask themselves if the Rockets, desperate for a VanVleet replacement, come knocking with a truly massive offer, should Boston even consider it? The answer, according to a compelling trade proposal pitched on Space City Scoop, is a resounding, unequivocal yes. They absolutely must. This isn't a simple two-team swap, a straightforward exchange of assets. No, this is a complex multi-layered transaction, a three-team blockbuster designed to navigate the intricate financial labyrinth of the NBA. The Celtics, in their efforts to duck under the luxury tax threshold, desperately need to shed salary. The Rockets, already hard-capped at the first tax apron and precariously close to it, also need to reduce their payroll. This delicate dance necessitates the involvement of a third party, a willing facilitator. And in this scenario, that crucial role falls to the Brooklyn Nets, who possess the cap space to absorb Fred VanVleet's contract. Let's dissect this intricate proposed deal, a chess match played out on the grand stage of the NBA. The Boston Celtics would receive Reed Sheppard, Haywood Highsmith, a 2027 pick swap with Brooklyn, giving them the better of Houston's and Brooklyn's first-round picks, and a 2031 first-round pick from Houston. The Brooklyn Nets would receive Fred VanVleet and a 2028 first-round pick from Houston. The Houston Rockets would receive Derrick White and Kobe Buffkin. For the Rockets, this trade is a clear and immediate win. They acquired Derrick White, a proven championship-caliber guard who can instantly step into VanVleet's shoes and provide the playmaking, defense, and shooting they desperately need to propel them back into the ranks of contention. Adding Kobe Buffkin, a promising young guard, further bolsters their backcourt depth, providing another piece for their future. Crucially, this deal also shaves a few million off their payroll, providing much-needed breathing room under the first tax apron. It's a move that addresses their immediate needs while maintaining financial flexibility. The Brooklyn Nets, playing the role of salary absorber, take on a significant chunk of VanVleet's contract for this season. In exchange, they land a valuable 2028 first-round pick from Houston. And if VanVleet, against all odds, opts into his contract for next season, the Nets suddenly possess a valuable asset they can flip next summer, potentially recouping even more future draft capital. It's a low-risk, high-reward play for a team in a different stage of its competitive cycle. But what about the Celtics? This is where the deal truly leans into the concept of a gap year, a strategic pause in their immediate championship aspirations, a pivot towards a more sustainable future. The only win-now piece they would receive in return is Haywood Highsmith, a versatile two-way forward known for his defensive tenacity and energy, a player who fits the Celtics' gritty identity. However, what Boston truly gains is a trifecta of invaluable assets, a foundational haul that can be meticulously cultivated to build the next great Celtics team, ensuring their competitive window remains open for years to come. First, there's Reed Sheppard. This young phenom was at the very top of many draft boards heading into the 2024 NBA draft. Lauded for his high-volume shooting and exceptional playmaking abilities, the Celtics, a team that has always valued elite perimeter shooting, would undoubtedly be enamored with Sheppard's offensive prowess. While his defensive chops might not yet be Boston level, his offensive upside is undeniable. He could develop into a legitimate starter for the Celtics, providing a much-needed spark from day one. Alternatively, he could spend this gap year bombing away from deep, showcasing his talents, and ultimately becoming the centerpiece of a future trade package for a bona fide superstar down the line. This flexibility, this potential for either immediate impact or future leverage, is precisely what a rebuilding or retooling team craves. Then there are the draft picks, the lifeblood of any sustained contender, the currency of future success. Boston picks up two significant selections. The first is a 2027 pick swap, giving them the better of Houston's and Brooklyn's first-round picks. While the Rockets project to be quite good by 2027, the Nets are likely to still be mired in a rebuilding phase, potentially offering the Celtics another high lottery pick. Boston has certainly reaped the rewards of owning Brooklyn pick swaps in the past, famously using them to acquire cornerstone talents. Could they once again land a top pick to add to their core of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, ensuring their championship window remains wide open for years to come? The second pick is a 2031 first-rounder from Houston, a distant but incredibly valuable asset that offers immense long-term flexibility and the potential to capitalize on future shifts in the league's power dynamics. It's a lottery ticket for a future that's impossible to predict, but one that could pay massive dividends. Finally, and perhaps most immediately impactful, the Celtics would save approximately $12 million in this deal, dropping them entirely out of the luxury tax. This isn't just about saving money, it's about resetting the luxury tax clock, providing the financial flexibility to make other strategic moves. It allows them to potentially move on from other players like Anthony Simons in a trade that brings back additional value rather than simply being a salary dump. This financial reset is crucial for building a team back into contention over the next few years, allowing them to aggressively pursue free agents or make further trades without being handcuffed by punitive tax penalties. It's the kind of shrewd financial maneuvering that separates the good franchises from the truly great ones. Is all of this enough to trade Derrick White? Perhaps not for many. He is, after all, beloved in Boston, a fan favorite whose gritty play, selfless attitude, and clutch moments have endeared him to the Garden faithful. He is the perfect star-level role player for a contender, a player who elevates everyone around him without demanding the spotlight, a true embodiment of Celtics basketball. The thought of him in another uniform is, for many, simply unthinkable. Yet, as we've discussed, his value will never be higher than it is right now. And this trade, painful as it might be to contemplate, brings back legitimate high-upside assets for the future. Assets that could form the bedrock of the Celtics' next championship dynasty. This isn't a decision to be taken lightly. It's a strategic tightrope walk, balancing the immediate desire for contention with the long-term health and sustainability of the franchise. But in the unforgiving world of professional sports, where windows close as quickly as they open, the ability to make tough, forward-thinking decisions is what separates the perennial contenders from a team stuck in mediocrity. The devastating injury to Fred VanVleet has created an unforeseen opportunity, a chance for the Celtics to pivot, to reset, and to build for an even brighter future. Should the Celtics consider this mid-season trade? Absolutely. They need to think long and hard about it, weighing the emotional cost against the strategic bounty. The future of the franchise might just depend on it. What's your take on this potential seismic shift for the Celtics? Is it a heartbreaking necessity, a pragmatic move for long-term glory, or a bridge too far, sacrificing the present for an uncertain future? We want to hear your passionate opinions, your deepest thoughts on this difficult dilemma. Sound off in the comments below, and tell us if you think the Celtics should pull the trigger on this blockbuster. And if you found this report insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive, in-depth analysis that gets to the heart of the game, exploring the tough decisions that shape the destiny of our favorite teams.